If you want to really get on some bandwagon, even if you're W-2 job, go ahead and have a side gig. I say that. Look at your hobbies. Look at your passion.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
Welcome to the Dream Big and Think Different podcast, where we inspire, impact, and empower.
Progress is impossible if you always do things the way you have always done things.
It's time to dream big. Here's your host, Dr. Sachin Maskey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dream Big and Think Different podcast, where our mission is to inspire, impact, and empower millions of people. I'm your host, Dr. Sachin Maskey, and today I have a very special guest, my mentor, my friend, brother, Vinney Chopra, all the way from California. I would like to introduce Vinney by saying a few things first. Vinney is my, again, mentor and friend. He's a real estate investor, syndicator, best-selling author of 2 books. Actually, I have the books in front of me right here. We're going to talk about that today. Host of 4 podcasts, multifamily educator, again, mentor, dedicated husband, over 40 years, father of 2, Neil and Monica. He is in California. He has plus 40 years of residing in California. He's also founder and principal of 4 companies, Monil Investment Group, Monil Senior Living, Monil Management Group, and Multifamily Academy. Vinney has come here in the United States 40 years ago with $7 in his pocket. Vinney has achieved success in a number of areas: marketing, sales, motivational speaking, real estate investing, among them. Despite the trials and tribulation he has encountered, Vinney has able to come out the winner. With a passion to help people and his drive to build lasting legacy, Vinney's example of what positive thinking can do to impact one's life and that for others. Vinney is a sought-after multifamily syndication expert that has appeared in numerous podcasts and all social media to share his experience and 35 years of expertise. Over the past 14 years, he has honed his skills and has done 34 successful syndication. He has achieved numerous success, controlling over 500 plus almost $800 million of asset under management, 5,000 doors in the niche market. Vinney uses a proven idea and techniques for multifamily and senior living syndication that have helped him grow his business exponentially over the years. And there's a reason Vinney nickname is Mr. Smiles, Mr. Enthusiasm, which is evident even just hearing his demeanor in his voice. He has always believed his individual ability to shape the world around them through the positive thought and selfless action. With that, welcome Vinney to our show. We're glad to have you. I'm very honored to have you.
Don't stop. Don't stop. I love it, Dr. Maskey. Sachin, I love you, brother. I love you. It's been such a wonderful, I want to tell everybody who's listening, Dr. Maskey, Sachin, as I call him, my younger brother, he's amazing person, totally amazing person. As he has come in my life, I know we have known each other for about 2 years now, and it's been such a pleasure to see how you think outside the dot and how you really want to do so much in real estate. And you join so many masterminds. I have people coming to me and they say, I only want to do this or this or this. But this individual right here, Sachin, wants to do this and this and this and this and this. I love you for that. I love you. And I met your family, your lovely family. You went to Nepal. You were sharing all the experiences there. I met your parents, and it's such a pleasure to be on your podcast. Really, it's such a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate the kind words. Today is we need to hear your story. And again, this is the podcast for dreamers and dream big and think different. So I just wanted to start saying first question I always ask in my podcast. The question is, who is Vinney Chopra and why is Vinney Chopra in this world?
Well, Vinney Chopra is a regular guy. I mean, literally, I grew up in a 386 square feet house there, apartment actually in New Delhi, with 6 siblings and parents. So 8 people living in that household. And again, I just was a studious boy, if I recall back then. And I really wanted to excel in education. And I think I stemmed that, give it that to my dad. After dinner, he would hold a school. What? School in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Every child had to really work on things for hour and a half every night, and we would actually learn what teacher was going to teach next day. So that's the kind of upbringing I had. So I really give gratitude to my parents, my grandparents, and everybody. I did my engineering. I used to break toys, try to get into it. I have a projection television through a shoebox. Some of you might have done it also, and doing some Plano, cars with some motor at that age. I just wanted to act on. Became a mechanical engineer in production degree, worked for Larsen Toubro in Bombay, then came here for my MBA in marketing. I thought mechanical engineer and marketing, I'll make a good living in America, and came with some big dreams, but didn't know much about what could happen. So anyway, then I sold encyclopedias, Bibles, some people know it, and educational books to earn tuition for my schooling at George Washington University. That changed my life, literally. The epic role of working 13 hours a day. I still have certificates in my office. 3 summers I worked door to door, knocking on doors, got slammed doors every time. And not every time. I sold a lot of books, by the way. That's why I came next summer and next summer. But the key thing was it changed me from an engineer to a salesperson. So I've been a salesperson all my life, a marketer, a salesperson kind of thing. Even my very good mentor, Spencer Hayes, I want to pay gratitude to him. He passed away at 80. Please look at it. He was a billionaire, multi-billionaire actually. He donated 361 million his art collections to the French government, actually, because he really believed in all these. He invited us, my wife and I, to his penthouse and his wife, and each painting was a million plus on the wall, each painting. So anyway, he was my mentor. He had his hand on my head, because he was executive CEO and the owner of my companies which I worked at. And Tom James is a big company, Executive Suits. They publish, they do about $1 billion sales a year. And these are suits for executives, $1,000 to $20,000, even $30,000 suits. And they have a cloth where your name is written in the cloth. You could have pinstripes with your name written on it. I usually don't talk. But anyway, those are exciting.
That's amazing.
Amazing. The reason I say that is he was such a big billionaire, but on his business card, it said salesperson. All his life. He would introduce, and at the business card, it'll say salesperson. That's why it just came to my mind, that story, which I've never said before, But anyway, that's what really got me going. And I've been married 42 years now. Sachin, as you know, we live in Bay Area. We were going to buy a home. I was a motivational speaker for many years. Then I was not a good one either. Not a good one. Lot of us, I'm just like a regular person, I'm telling you, and I was a big fail. I was a success in the book sales, but I was a failure as a motivational speaker because I didn't adhere to the program that my seniors were teaching me. I had to memorize my talk. I had to do things so that I can be a better person. I had to join Toastmasters International. I had to do Dale Carnegie's course to understand what to do with this whole, with life actually. Anyway, so those things helped me. I was raising money for non-profit organizations and profit organizations, again, day in, day out. Then we got married and company said, Vinney, would you like to move to California? I said, California what? Where? How? Because I was in a town Findlay, Ohio, Bowling Green, Ohio. Such a small town. We were going to buy a home because we were just gotten married, my wife and I, and lived in a cockroach apartment. I always say that. She says, "Where did you bring me? There are cockroaches all over here." That's Vinny's start right there. But
Sure,
then we
sure.
came here, yeah, and then of course got into real estate.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a beautiful story Vinny has. We're gonna continue talk about the story, but before we go to more details in our podcast, I just wanted to ask you, before you came to the United States, let's go back to your childhood. And I wanted to ask you again, what was your childhood dream? When you were like a child.
I'm glad you are asking me that, Sachin. To be very truthful, my life is such, I don't remember much. I remember very positive things here and there. I think as I go back, my big dream was to be better than who I was, because we never
Sure.
had a bicycle. Oh, no, we had a bicycle only at that time. We never had a refrigerator, never had a television, never had a telephone, nothing, literally.
Wow.
We were walking. I was using public transportation, go to my college, university, everything. We were very humble people, walk to the school. And I used to get a allowance of, I still remember, 2 rupees back in those
Yeah.
days, 2 rupees a month. My mom will give me
So
because,
just to let the listener know, 2 rupees is less than, I would say, less than a dollar.
yeah, much that. $1
Yeah,
is
yeah.
80 rupees now. $1 is 80
Right,
rupees. Back then it was $7. No, $1, $1, $1 was 7 rupees, by the way,
right.
when I came to this country. But anyway, no, you're right. It was so little meager means. But if I recall, I was happy. I was very happy. I was so happy, I can tell you. But the thing was, I had a desire. I'm a goal setter. A lot of my colleagues, my friends who know me for 40, 50, 60, I'm 70 now, 70, just turned 70 this year. They tell me, "Vinny, you were a goal oriented person. You were a very studious person." That's what I recall. So I didn't
Sure.
know who I will become, but I had desire to become a better person.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, of course. A lot of time. My story was I never thought of I'm going to be a doctor, but I always was curious child, and
Yes.
I got the opportunity to come back in the United States. And
Yes.
my question is in the back in again, going back to the childhood. When did you had a thought of coming to US, and why did you come to the United States?
Okay, that started actually in 1969. I would say my uncle who sponsored me came in 1963. 1963. But they visited my aunt, American aunt, and my uncle. They visited India in 69. That's the year I graduated high school, 69.
Wow.
I'm a graduate of 69. And then I knew I was going to go for my engineering degree. But my grandpa and also my uncle kind of gave me, a vision that I could go to USA after my engineering. And that was the main thing I wanted to do at that time. Then I worked very hard, 5 years, so that I could get good grades and,
Hmm.
and so forth, so that I could come to USA. So I would say that was the time, in
So it's
69.
almost, yeah, so almost 50 years.
Yes,
And you've been
exactly.
here for 40 years. Wow, that's amazing. So well, I'm gonna switch the gear now a little bit to now where you are and start with your first. I would say besides I call our venture as a child, and
Yes.
I think 10 years ago when Vinny was 60, he started his first venture, with his Monil Investment Group. I want to dig into
Yes.
that a little bit. So why Monil Investment? How was it born, and why real estate? How did you get started?
Surely. I got started, Sachin, in real estate about 40 years back. Let's say 40, 41 years back, because my peers over here in California, in the Bay Area, where I've been living, in San
Hmm.
Ramon, Union City, now in Danville, Blackhawk, all this area in the Northern California, my friends were in real estate. So your peer group really influences you. And that's what happened. They said, "Vinny, would you like to invest a little bit money here, there?" We didn't have much money. I was not making that much. I said, "Yeah, it sounds great." Then we bought a home for $65,000, actually, over here in Modesto, 3-bedroom home. And it
Hmm.
grew in value 5 times. We took a loan on it. We said, oh my gosh, this money grows like on trees, Then we bought more homes. So essentially, we got started in real estate about 40 years back. We were buying homes. Every money we save, my wife and I will go into Phoenix and go in
And that was
Bakersfield.
single family, right?
These were all single family. I bought an acre land with 4 homes on it in Bakersfield, California. And my goal was to move those 4 homes and build a 34 units. This is way back in the 90s I'm talking about, brother. So I had vision to really become bigger in real estate. Yeah.
So from single family to multifamily. So started your journey, I guess, with the Monil Investment Group. I just want to hear a little
Yes.
bit about that. Why multifamily space
And
and
also you
how did you
asked me,
get started?
Money Investment Group was born in the rug carpet of our Bethesda apartment. Actually, I talk about it because we had to go there for a year and a half due to some reason. And I started Monil Investment Group after my Ideal Investment Group. In Ideal Investment Group was born in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about 14 years back, and with 2 other partners. But then I told them, I think about in 2012, no more doing anything because I want to do my own company. And that's when it was formed. So Money Investment Group is only 7 years old, where I've taken off all these big things.
Sure. So yeah, less than 10 years, I guess, Money Investment Group has now like almost $1 billion asset under management. So that's amazing, accomplishment, and you're doing very good on that. And next, the second, I guess, I mean, from there, what was your second venture you started? I was thinking of senior assisted living, but before that, did you have anything else?
Okay, the academy also, my multifamily academy, my people in my inner circle, they said, Vinny, a lot of people are asking you same questions and your answers are the same. And I told them, yes, Vinny only knows same answers. When you speak the truth, tell everybody the same thing. They said, Vinny,
Of
start
course.
recording. Elijah Artman, a video personality here in the Bay Area. He's a digital marketer for a very big, medicine company in the Bay Area. He's the guy who really got me started. And his brother David have been interviewing me. A lot of my courses kind of got together, early part of 7, 8, 9 years back. But that was my second venture. Then I started buying bigger and bigger and bigger properties in syndication, as you know. And also, we kept on. The key thing is you got to put your money into where the money can make you more money. So I'm
Right.
I get absorbed into, checking out where I can invest to make my money grow. So startups, venture capitalism, that's a big one. Then learning the power of investing in stock market. I did some courses. I wanted to, grow my money there, all those things. And now we are into 14 companies, all different things, and a lot of great passive cash flow coming in.
You're listening to the Dream Big and Think Different podcast with Dr. Sachin Maskey. Be sure to stop by SachinMaskeyMT.com to download a free copy of Dr. Maskey's book.
Sure, that's amazing, Vinny. So again, we're gonna talk about that. All these things are happening. I think they start with your mindset, and I would like to talk about mindset. And Vinny is very into a mindset, and let's jump into that and give
Sure.
us some talk about your mindset and what do you think about it.
I would love to. Sachin, what I find is that a lot of people want to accomplish a lot more things in life, and we should, but the mindset has to be right.
Right.
We have to really conquer our mind with the feelings and the gumption and the positivity that we want to accomplish what we want to accomplish. Secondly, we want to believe that we can, even though we have not done it yet. That's why affirmations come into play. That's why, positive feelings. That's why writing down goals and internalizing it inside. Because who we are inside, it's going to bring the results outside. I say that always, It's not outside that's going to bring results. It's inside. We getting fired up about our passion, what we want to do and well, and who you want to become one day. You're in the process of becoming today, was Spencer Hayes' words. Actually, he has 150 great slogans that he sent to all the employees in his 7 companies he owned, I think. And I still have those 150 key liners that,
Wow.
I relate to them and I look back at it and so forth. Anyway, love to share with the audience. I have even posted on it. I've even posted some of the art collections, and I might do that because today is the time to pay gratitude. Thanksgiving is coming next week. I really want to give gratitude to my mentors who have made me who I am today. I'm just a regular guy. And everybody listening and watching us could be better today, better than yesterday. And that's what my quest is. At 70, it's like 40. I'm telling you, my mind is just like 40 years of age. And I want to do more, so much more in the next 30 years. Hopefully I live to 100. I'll throw a very big party. Anyway.
Of course.
But the thing, it's the mindset, Sachin, right? It's the mindset of abundance. It's the mindset of manifestation. It's the mindset of attraction. Because if we send strong signals out, just like a radio station, how can we listen to the music? Radio station is so far away because the radio station sends the sound waves and they're all around us, and we are able to capture with a mechanism called transistor or radio. So other people are also transistors and radios. If we send the messages out, it happens. For senior living, for example, I've been thinking about senior living with so much strong message that I bring somebody who knows somebody who brings me in my lap, the person who has built senior livings for 6 years by then. Now it's 10 years and we are partners and we have done 33 of them. So it's amazing how all these mindset, if we can conquer our subconscious and conscious to get really, really focused. See, focusing is the other thing, because many times we go after shiny subjects. I mean, we get bombarded by so much advertisement, so many things. Everybody wants to sell you something. We got to just pinpoint what we want to become, what we want to do, what is really feels good, and you will be happy. Like if I talk 17, 18 hours a day, I'm this enthusiastic at the end of the day because I love it. I love what I do.
Yeah, of course. And I do believe mindset and something you talk about focus today. And, discipline and focus actually it results success a lot of times. So I do strongly believe. Yeah, that's a thank you for
What you
sharing
said,
that.
discipline. I'm so glad you said that. Such a discipline is so important in life. I mean,
Right.
people say I will retire at 55, 65, whatever. I said, that's great, but have some hobbies, have some discipline so that you can get up with passion and enjoy your habits and the time with the family or charity works and things, but have some discipline in life.
Definitely. Now, so thank you for sharing that discipline. Definitely. Now we're going to talk about a little bit about your book. Actually, the apartment syndication made easy. I don't know you remember this, but I read your book before I met you, and I'm actually a mentor. I've been learning from Vinney since 1 year. Every week we used to talk, and I'm
Yes.
a privilege to have you in my podcast today. So he has another best-selling Amazon #1 international in different countries. I believe in a couple of different countries it is
Yes.
available. If you guys don't have this book, this is the 2 book you should read for sure. There's third book that's coming, but before we go to the third book, let's start with this book, Apartment Made Easy.
That
And
apartment syndication made easy is the real where I am. My $1 billion, close to $1 billion in 2023, would have been only possible because of the word syndication. A lot of people listening to us, watching us, it's not a gorilla at all. syndication is just the art of liking, collecting or joining hands with like-minded people who want to invest in real estate or companies or flipping or wholesaling, you name it. If you want to even start a new business, you could syndicate. You could syndicate with a business plan and get your family, friends, neighbors, everybody on the bandwagon. They have money in retirement funds, they have money in savings to invest with you legally. I love the word legally, and also being transparent and honest and everything. That's what the world of syndication is. So my success has been built with from $1,000 I invested in this business. I was a multimillionaire before I started real estate because of my speeches and motivation speaking and all. But my wife did not. They didn't believe in me. My company, my whole family didn't believe in me. That I could be what I am today. But everybody, you will come across those naysayers too. But do it anyways. I invested $1,000 of our family money into this business, which controls about portfolio of $1 billion. Anybody can do it.
Wow.
So this book is like a step by step. I'm an engineer. I talk about jugglers in India, about plate spinning, and that's what I thought. Maybe if I could,
five plates.
5 plates. Thank you. And that makes it easy for people to comprehend. And that's how my whole academy also is based on 5 plates, so that people can understand the gist of it. And once you really understand how to bring OPM, other people's money, into deals, you will scale up big time, big time.
Right.
You would not have ever imagined how much success you'll bring to them and to you. Because when I buy these deals, Sachin, you know that 70% of profits go to them. Investors, I work for them. I work for them unknowingly knowing that 80% or 70% of the cash flow and the equity gain is going to them, and they are happy. And then I'm making that 30% or 20%, which is in millions, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and another thing, I think people don't realize that when you started thinking of helping others, that basically
Yes.
when those investors, if they're not investing in things like syndication or any other venture, where the returns are, if you put up money in the bank, you're getting almost zero like returns, or less than one
And
percent return.
losing,
But
no, brother, with the inflation, 9.2%,
exactly,
100,000 is going to be worth 91,000 next year. I mean, that's the beauty of, real estate or passive investing, is that you are not only getting returns, you add that factor of 9.2 not losing. Now you're making 18% returns a year. 18%.
yes, yes, it's like doubling your money in less than 3 or 4 years, right?
Wow.
So
So
that's
true.
the
And
key.
the tax benefits. I mean, Sachin, that's the other part. The laws in USA are made for the real estate investors. I'm telling you. I mean, you name it, bonus depreciation, cost segregations, and, having the leverage with the bank
Of
says,
course.
okay, I'll give you 75% of the money. You put 25% down. You are controlling 4 times your investment. Hold on. In stock market, you put $100, you only control $100. But in real estate, you put $100, you control $400.
It's amazing.
And the growth in equity, when the property goes higher and that 100,000 becomes $1,000, bank says, thank you so much, pay the balance. The gain is yours. Oh my gosh. How can you beat that deal?
Exactly. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, when I first started doing this, also, the first thing I realized in my career, I was W-2 employee, and I'm still doing that. But eventually, the goal is to get out of that, and
Yes.
following these footsteps like you have been doing. And the taxes is the major advantage in real
Huge,
estate.
huge. Oh
It's
my
a,
God.
so I would like to listener and viewers to have the mindset we're talking about, and hopefully that can give in different output in overall. And next
The other thing
book,
I want to talk about is, oh, sure, let's talk about positivity. That will bring also,
sure.
it's the mindset. Yeah, let's talk about that one.
So this
Yeah.
book, let's talk about why it was born, and Like, when did you, how did it came out to your mind to write this book?
Actually, I wanted to give thanks to my lovely wife, Kanchan, and we've been married 42 years. Bless her heart. That was the biggest sale ever I made. I'm so grateful every morning when I get up that she's in my life. And she read my book, by the way. She was traveling from here to back east, and she read my whole syndication book. And she just called me right away from the airport. I read your book. It's one of the greatest book. I loved it. I loved it. Syndication book. She says, you know what? But it's for limited audiences. I said, what do you mean by that, honey? She says, I am married to you 38 years back then, we are 42 now. So she says, you have been the most positive person I know. I mean, I have lived with you for 39 years. You need to write a book on positivity. And I see my friends also telling me that. I said, honey, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. Guess what? I got up next morning. I started writing the book. But then I wrote the book quickly, right? I wanted to publish it. She read it. She didn't like it. She didn't
Really?
like it. She says, no. This book is not as good as your first one. So that is why in 2022, January, I went back to my old book, which I published in 2019, I think. I published both of them same year. And then I rewrote it. So the Positivity Brings Profitability now on Amazon is a revised edition, and it's got a lot more nuggets and lot more great things, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, it's an amazing book. Again, whoever have not read this book, please go right now and buy this book and learn more about positivity, and which is going to help everyone basically. And
It is.
thank you.
Whatever business you're in, I think that what this book talks about is everybody's got this little brain, myself included.
Yes.
And if in our thinking, our brain stores, all these kind of reels of thoughts are there. And if they are more negative than positive, we are destined. Our whole cell structure is such that we look for pessimism, we look for false, we look for all those things. So by becoming more positive, how can we be more positive? If we throw away the negatives, kind of clean out our thoughts, the negative thoughts, and incrementally add more positive things, and every situation that comes, slowly look at it. What's the silver lining in this dark cloud, I call it, right? And in adversity, sorrowness, don't worry about sorrow, but hit it head on. And then you say, you know what, how can we get out of it? How did it come? Don't blame anybody. It's there in our pockets, in our lap. Let's get out of it.
Sure. And there's a reason people, Jim Rohn, one of the very popular
Huge
motivators.
mastermind.
Yeah.
Yes.
He tells about you're the average of 5 people you surround with. And that's absolutely true. You need to surround with the like-minded people and stay away from negative people, negative thoughts, as Vinny was mentioning. And your network is your net worth, right? So that's the reason we need to surround with again, people like Vinny. And I'm privileged to have you in my podcast today again. I met him personally, and believe it or not, I found more like staying in Zoom is one thing, but meeting in person real was totally different. We hang around each other. We had a great time, and hopefully we're gonna meet again.
We
It was
will.
honor
We
again.
will soon. We will soon. And I do want to, if we are wrapping up, the key thing is please spend that time in the Miracle Morning. Miracle Morning, brother Al Rod wrote that book. Miracle is another one. Amazing book. Don't even buy the book, but go to YouTube and say Miracle Morning and adjust your mind to positivity in the morning, every morning, paying gratitude, exercise, yoga, whatever, and then taking care of mind and body and soul is so important, because if you're happy inside, we'll give happiness outside. If you're positive inside, we'll give positivity, and you will be amazed how many people will be around you and get into your circle just because you are emitting energy, enthusiasm, positivity, good vibes, good vibrations. That's what it's all about, and we can change. We could become that person today. today.
Of course,
Like
of
this.
course.
Tony Robbins
Yeah.
says you could change the state from this point forward just in a second. Jim Rohn, Norman Vincent Peale, Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, I mean, Tom Hopkins, Wayne Dyer, all these great people are my mentors who have taught me, Jim Rohn included. And Zig Ziglar, I can't miss him, and of course, Robert Kiyosaki and all. So all these great
You name
people
it
are
all,
bring.
man.
I know that. Oh, David J. Schwartz, Magic of Thinking Big. If you have not read that book, I read that 40 years back. I still have that copy. A lot of
Yeah,
these
magic
books
of
have
thinking big.
40. Now, Magic of Thinking Big, amazing. Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now. I
Yes.
mean, there are so many books. But the thing is, I hardly complete a book. Sachin, that's the secret. I've never read maybe in early years I read the books. I open up the book to a page, I read the paragraph, and I say, you know what? Have I applied it or not?
Yes.
That's all I need to know. Because from the book, we should capture two or three things and apply in our life, make it a habit. And, that's when we can grow and develop.
Yeah, absolutely true. I mean, reading a book is one thing, and applying to and taking action is another thing. And I really think that's important. But anyway, so we're going towards the end of our show today. But before we leave, again, I wanted to ask you. I mean, what would be the few key items that you can relate today's where you are now, just for listener for your success? What they can do.
I would love to, love to. People can just Google me, VinneyChopra.com. Oh, it's my website, VinneyChopra.com. V as in Victor, INNEY, Chopra. If you say Vinod Chopra, nothing comes up. A director in India comes, he is a filmmaker. I'm not a filmmaker, but Vinney Chopra is my business name, and that's where you'll see me. But the big thing is, right at this time, I'm so excited about these startup companies. I started two businesses last week alone. Two businesses last week.
Wow.
And they're going to bring millions and millions of dollars. I know that, to my partners and me and everything. And the good part is I'm ready. I'm investing in startup companies. I love the horse and I love the jockey. Horse is the product and what they are doing, and jockey who is managing. I really believe in getting into those kind of situations so that my money can make more money while I sleep. So that's big one. I'm really getting into the NFT market and others. I know, Sachin, you are with me in others, and thanks to you for bringing Craig into my life, brother Craig Shally, who is an amazing, amazing person with great mastermind and power, charisma he has is amazing. And, then Lisa, and Bitcoin and NFTs. I mean, so many things are happening. Shivaji with the Plug XR and the tokenization. I mean, digital real estate. I mean, there's so much going on. My cloud defense company is getting bigger and bigger. It's going to be $3 billion, which was just on napkin 3 years back.
Wow.
Will be worth 3 to 5 billion. We are having so many great revenue streams coming in. So a lot of things are happening,
Sure,
and
sure,
senior
definitely.
else and developments like you're doing. I'm getting into more developments also. I know,
Amazing.
so being in the real estate, and then positivity, my academy, somehow I had a vision to get my academy at a very low price to 1 million people. I've been saying 1 million for a long time, but it may happen now. I think we are able to get some partners with me who might be able to do it, accomplish that goal, and all over US, globe, because we'll be transferring my academy into different languages, my books into different languages, and all that stuff.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I hope today's podcast, all my listener has got a lot of values and hearing Vinny's story, humble beginning, coming to United States with $7, now controlling almost $1 billion of real estate. He's a 70 years old, still have that energy, like 18 years old. I'm again truly honored to be having on my podcast today. Before I
Oh, it's
leave,
been
is there
such a
anything
pleasure.
you wanted to share to my audience? One thing they can do today?
I would say, Sachin, the big thing is, if you want to really get on some bandwagon. Even if you're W-2 job, go ahead and have a side gig. I say that. Look at your hobbies, look at your passion. But I hope it's relating to something, some investment of some kind, learning some skill that can make you really, really leaving your legacy. Because it's a small span of life. 100 years is like a dot on the timeline. But let's make it a better world. And we can. And if you have all the money you need right now, then give to charities. But do something to really become that person that you always desired to become. And you can do it today. And action. I believe in action. I believe in positivity, enthusiasm, deleting and delegating, and prioritizing and mindset and action.
Thank you, Vinny, for that wonderful wisdom. I was just reading a book today, actually, listening to a book, what
Yeah.
billionaires do before they go to breakfast. And she mentioned one thing. You just mentioned about our life. We're very small. She said we have only 4,000 weekends in our lifetime if you live up to 80 years old. Only
Wow.
4,000 weekends. So that's amazing. But anyways, thank you, Vinny, for your precious time, and thank you everyone listening to our podcast or watching. I really appreciate if you can review, rate, or subscribe the channel. That would be awesome. We'll be bringing more powerful guests like Vinny in the future. Again, thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Dream Big and Think Different. We hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to subscribe to our show so you don't miss any gold nuggets. We would appreciate it if you could rate and leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify, and other platforms. And be sure to stop by SachinMaskeyMD.com to download a free copy of Sachin's book. Until next time.